Welcome back, everybody. It's your boy, the Q-Tip. I don't even know what that intro was, but we can act like that didn't just happen. We're talking about National Player of the Year conversation. It's only January 15th, 16th, 17th, 17th. How do I not know what day it is? It's like 3 o'clock on a Saturday. Don't know. I literally already coached the game and everything. But anyway, let me stop yapping. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe so you can see more videos like this. But let's get into it. This isn't necessarily like a ranking per se of like who I think is number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, whatever, so on and so forth. It's just kind of talking about the players that I think are in the conversation. And then as time gets closer and closer, we can talk about, shrinking that list of players down and talking about the players that are in the top 5, what certain players would need to do to be able to not just join the conversation, but put themselves in that higher upper echelon or even win it. We'll start with Sarah Strong. Obviously, she's the front runner and the favorite to win it since the preseason to now. She's averaging 18 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, 1.7 blocks. She's shooting 60% from the field. I'm rounding up. She's shooting 59.9. We're rounding up. 42% from the 3 and 89.7% from the free throw line. So if you want to round up for that, it's 90. She's shooting 60, 40, 90 from the free throw line, which is kind of crazy. She's just, there's not, if you've seen Sarah Strong play, there's not a ton that I need to say to like back up what I'm saying about, or just back up her being in this conversation, obviously, since she's one of the front runners. But the game just looks so easy. That's like the easiest, that's the best thing that I can say, or like the most natural thing I can say about her without going super in depth. Is the game just looks really easy for her, whether it's shooting the ball, getting the ball in the post, running with the ball in transition, catching and finishing, making the extra pass, playing defense, getting her hands in the passing lanes, blocking shots. Like, there's not a single weakness in her game. She shoots at the free throw line well. Like, there's not a weakness in her game that we've seen yet, and I don't know if anybody. It's just gonna come down to she's making and missing shots, and she's super efficient from every level. So it's hard to say like, oh yeah, this is what you can do to make her miss shots. Yeah, I don't know, man. She's definitely the most difficult player to guard in the country, just because she does everything so well and so efficiently. Another player that's on this list is her teammate. So we'll go to her next. AZ Fudd, averaging 17 points, 2 steals a game, 49, 47, and 100. Yes, I said 100. She's 30 of 30 from the free throw line. Hopefully this doesn't, jinx her or anything. But she's 30 for 30 from the free throw line. She's 47% from three and 49% from the field. I don't know how much more efficient you could get. And yes, UConn is playing some teams in their conference that aren't up to the level of them, but they've also played some good teams, like Ohio State, like Iowa, like I mentioned every time we talk about UConn. And the thing is like, when you go into a game, the 2 players that you're worrying about the most are AZ Fudd and Sarah Strong. If both of them are getting exactly what they want, and they're not necessarily, AZ Fudd still gets open looks. So does Sarah Strong. Like, they play such a good brand of offense that they still get open looks. But those are the 2 players that you key in on every single night, and they're still shooting the ball at a rapidly efficient pace. So, not much you can say about those players. Like, both of them just phenomenal basketball players. Michaela Blakes, I think, definitely has to be in this conversation. She's averaging 25, 3 and 4, 3 steals a game. Yeah, 3 steals a game, 46, 33, 84 from the free throw line. And I think for her, it's a little different than it is for, players like Hannah Hidalgo, that are also on this list, or an Olivia Miles. Like, she has a real chance of winning this because she does have good teammates around her, and she has a really good team, or like they have a really good thing going. Like, I think they're ranked 5 or 4. I don't know exactly where they're ranked because I don't really look at the AP's rankings. I just do my own or whatever. But they're either 4 or 5. So her having them that high, she's playing great in the big games. She's making, big time shots, big time steals, free throws, when she's needed to. She's done that for the past couple of years, but I think her having these teams that she's going to play, being able to play against the LSUs, the Texases, the South Carolinas, the Tennessees, she's going to have a lot of opportunities to make a statement on the national stage. And I think that could play a huge factor in her being able to surpass people that might be ahead of her in the rankings or in the conversations. Because if you look at it, you can just see, like, okay, if Michaela Blakes wasn't on this team, how good would this team be? And it's not to say this team wouldn't be really good, but they definitely wouldn't be top 25. They wouldn't be, they wouldn't be like top 5. Like, they're a top 5 team right now. So just having those opportunities is just big, because, like, with Sarah Strong and Izzy Fudd, like, they're not going to have as many opportunities to win big games before it's time to decide who a National Player of the Year is. Michaela Blakes might be the best. She might have the best case by the end of it if she's able to continue to play the way she has after, conference play ends and the regular season is over and things like that. Like, she might have the best case because of the games that she's going to have to play and the way that she's going to have to play for her team to win those games. It's the same thing I said about Hannah Hidalgo, who is also on this list. She's averaging 25, 6, and 5. 5 steals a game. She's shooting 48% from the floor, 24 from 3, and 80 from the free throw line. The thing for Hannah Hidalgo is she has to play great every single night. Vanderbilt can still win games with Michaela Blakes not playing phenomenally. I don't think that's the case for Notre Dame. I think Hannah Hidalgo has to give you 20 points, 8 to 9 assists, 4 to 5 steals every night just to give yourself a chance to win. And that's hard to do. Like, I know a lot of people aren't. I mean, I know there's people out there that are giving her credit, but there's also people that are saying, she's the only player out there, so she has to do it. That doesn't make it any easier. There's a lot of players that have to do it, and they can't. Like, the fact that Hannah Hidalgo is able to do that, and she is the one player that every team is worried about when they play her, is crazy. And the fact that she's still getting 4 to 5 steals a game, like, she's averaging 5.6 steals a game. That is an insane number. Like, I don't care what you say. I don't care about, you talk about, who she's done it against or what teams or whatever. That's an insane number. Like, yes, she gambles a lot, but most times those turn into steals or scores on the other end, so you can't really say too much about it. Maggie Dugan, one of my favorite players in the country. She is literally, like, as a forward, as 6'2" forward, can score in every way. She just had 48 against Davidson. I think it was last week, maybe the week. Like last week. And it just happened in spurts. Like, it was just like, all right, she had a good amount of points in the first quarter, didn't score for a little bit in the second quarter, then hit a couple shots. But it was just like she was scoring in every way. She was scoring off of cuts. She was scoring off of back doors. She was scoring off, pull-up 3. She was scoring off of catch-and-shoot 3. And not just, like, wide-open catch-and-shoot. Like, there was one that she, like, caught it and was fading and hit the 3. Like, hitting middies, just being able to score off the dribble. Like, she can score in every possible way. She's super efficient as well. She's averaging 23 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, leading the team in all those categories. She's shooting 51, 42, and 87. 51 from the floor, 42 from 3, and 87 from the free throw line, which is crazy to see from a forward that is able to just, and she's the player that, like, Rachel Ostrom is still a really good player as well. Like, it's not to say that, they don't have really good players. It's just, she's the player that everybody's looking at. She's the player that every team is scouting for when they go to play. And they played some really good teams this year in non-conference and even in the conference play. They've got good teams out in the A-10. So she's definitely at a disadvantage because of where she plays and what conference she plays in. But I do think, like, if you're really looking at it, like, she really has a case. Like, she is one of the best players in the country, without a doubt. Audie Crooks averaging 27 and 7, 68% from the field, 68% from the free throw line. Don't know if we've ever seen something like that before. Oh, we probably have. There's a lot of post players that don't shoot great from the free throw line, but shoot phenomenally from the field. So it is what it is. They've lost. I think that I just saw a notification come across that they just lost again. So she's doing her part offensively. Defensively, not so much. But teams are starting to, try to take away Audie Crooks as much as possible and make the other players beat her, especially with Addie Brown being out. Addie Brown hasn't played in the last 3 games. I think they lost a game, and then she's missed the last 3. And they've lost all of them. So I think she started to slowly go down the list just because they're losing, and she hasn't put up the same numbers that she was putting up early on. But I don't think that makes her any less of a great offensive player. I do think the defense needs to be a little bit better, but I think she still has time. Like, I know a lot of people are like very like either here or here on her. Like, they're either really high or really low. They're either she's going to be great in the WNBA or she's not going to be able to play in the WNBA. It is what it is. Like, she still has time. We'll figure that out. Joyce Edwards, averaging 20 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 1.5 blocks, 59% from the field, 33% from 3, 65% from the free throw line. She's been really good. She's been the best player for South Carolina. And she has some, similar to what Michaela Blake's has, she has the opportunity to make a case for herself on the national stage as well, of playing in these bigger games. Granted, I don't think she necessarily did anything as Texas that'll be like, all right, this puts her over, whoever, this moves her up to this part. But I do think you still have games like the LSU game, Oklahoma game. Like, there's still games that they can play. The Vanderbilt, Kentucky. Like, there's still games to be played that she has the opportunity to move herself up the ranks as well. I think she's phenomenal on both ends of the floor, and I think that helps her a lot when you look at other players or some of these other players that are on the list. Is she's able to do it on both floors at an elite level. Speaking of both ways at the elite level, Jelani Cambridge, averaging 21, 5, and 4, shooting 52% from the field, 25% from 3, and 83% from the free throw line. She's been really, really good. Like, even better than I thought she was going to be this year. She stepped into the role of being, one of their key perimeter scorers key perimeter scorers and defenders, being the leader of the team, and just being able to be that engine on both sides of the floor. And I think she deserves a lot of credit for that because, Cody McMahon leaving definitely left a hole in the team and things like that. So she definitely deserves a lot of credit. Taylor Theory going to the WNBA was another thing that was just like, the players that were there, like the experienced players that were there with her first year are all gone now. So she's had to step up in a bigger role, and I think she's done that. Madison Booker obviously is going to be in the running. She's averaging 19.7 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals per game, 51, 24, 85 shooting splits. Her case would have been if they had gone undefeated, or if they, win some of these big games. They've lost to Texas, or they've lost to South Carolina and LSU back to back, and she wasn't super dominant in the UCLA and South Carolina wins that they had earlier in the season. So she's gonna have to step it up if she wants to win National Player of the Year. I'm not saying she has to step it up like she hasn't played well, because she has, but I do think in big games they have to find ways to get her easier looks. And it's not to say the mid-range shots that she shoots are bad shots. It's just, it's very predictable. Everybody knows what you're running. They know you're running a pin down for Rory, you're running a pin down for Madison Booker, and they're going to be twos. They're going to be mid-range shots. Like, it's easier to close out on a mid-range shot off a screen than it is a three-point shot up. It's just, now if you're setting it and she's coming from the three-point line to the mid-range, it's a little bit more difficult. But if they go under, then they're just meeting her at the spot, which they've done on both her and Rory. So it makes it difficult for them to really get off their shot clean. But her case would have been, if she had played really well and they'd won against the South Carolina and LSU. Granted, they still have some more games, obviously, but yeah, that would have been her best shot. Olivia Miles averaging 19, 7, and 7. Shooting 52, 38, 82 shooting splits. Her being able to shoot the 3-ball well is huge for her, not just for this season, but for her future. And I think she's done a really good job of going into a new team, new system, and being able to just, I don't want to say control the team, but be the engine, be the game manager in a sense, be the gas in the car, whatever you want to call it. I think TCU is a really good team, and I think them having Olivia Miles obviously puts them over the top. But I think what she's able to do on the offensive end just sets them on a different level when they're able, especially when they're able to get up and run up and down and things like that. So she deserves a lot of credit for what she's done this season. She's also going to have a chance to win some bigger games and really put her name in the hat. Olivia Olson also going to have some games that she's going to be able to put her name in the hat when they play teams like UCLA, Ohio State, Maryland, so on and so forth. She's averaged 18 points per game, 18 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, shooting 47, 31, 77 shooting splits. Her and Silas Swords are like a dynamic duo. A lot of there's conversations like, oh, who's the best player, whatever. I do think Olivia Olson is the more consistent scorer and the more consistent, aggressive player. So that's why I would put her in this conversation, because Michigan is one of the better teams in the country. And I do think Olivia Olson is one of the better players in the country as well. So, again, she'll have opportunities against these other teams in the Big Ten when it gets, the top 5, top 10, top 15, top 20 matchups. And, it's on a Sunday and everybody's watching. This is your opportunity to put your name in the hat. And I think she deserves a lot of credit for the way she's played this year. And then Toby Fournier. If I didn't say a name, it doesn't mean I don't think they're in the conversation. These are just, I don't even know how many names this is. I didn't even number them or whatever. But Toby Fournier, with the way Duke has played over the last 2 to 3 weeks, she deserves to be in the conversation as well. The way that she's been scoring at a high pace, rebounding the ball really well, blocking shots. She's shooting 53% from the floor, 51% from the free throw line, 29 from 3. Not super efficient from the free throw line and the three-point line, but she's still shooting at a good pace, or scoring at an efficient pace, and still being a huge factor for her team on both sides of the basketball. So she deserves credit for that as well. Again, if there are players that I did not say or that I left off, like a Lauren Betts, it's not that I don't think they're in the conversation. It's just like I think these players have a better case at this moment in time. Flau'jae, Michaela Williams, whoever you'd want to say, you'd have to choose. And I feel like if you want to be in the National Player of the Year conversation, we shouldn't have to choose, unless I guess Sarah Strong and AZ Fudd is kind of in that situation. But they're both playing at a super, super elite level. And not to say that Flau'jae and Michaela Williams aren't, but I don't think they're playing at such an elite level that you have to choose one, or it's like, okay, this player is playing way better than them. Now, I do think Michaela Williams has played better in the bigger games, but when you look at a game-to-game standpoint, you really don't know who's going to be what, who's going to do what. Like, every single night Sarah Strong and AZ Fudd are the 1 and 2 option. There are going to be games where Michaela Williams and Flau'jae Johnson might be the 3rd, 4th option. And that's not a knock on Michaela Williams or Flau'jae Johnson. It's more of a testament to how good their team is versus, some other teams in the country. Trying to think of some other players that I might not have said that people might feel should be on the list, like Liv McGill with Florida. Like, she has an opportunity to win some big games and get her name in the conversation. Yeah, I mean, there's probably some names that I'm leaving off, like Reagan Beers maybe. But those are the names that I have right now. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys feel like certain players shouldn't be in the conversation, certain players should be in the conversation. Who is your player of the year as we speak right now? We still have a month and a half, a month and maybe a week or two of some regular season basketball, and then we have conference tournaments, and then we have March Madness. So not that much longer before we get into March Madness, and we're having different conversations. So some different videos are going to be coming out soon, talking about weaknesses and strengths of certain teams. But yeah, make sure you guys are commenting, and subscribing. I appreciate everybody that has subscribed so far. We are almost at 100. I know that sounds funny to most people because 100 is not a huge benchmark, but for me, who just started this a couple months ago, and is really trying to just see how far I can take this, I appreciate everybody that is subscribed and that continues to watch videos. So make sure you guys continue to do that. Make sure you guys continue to come back and watch the videos and comment. Let me know how you feel about certain things, and I appreciate you guys.